Donald Trump's choice as the head of the FCC is a guy named Brendan Carr. Let me give you a few little nuggets about who Brendan Carr is before we jump into this. The fact that Donald Trump is now directing the FCC to harass, to investigate PBS and NPR because of unfavorable coverage from them. If you report the truth, Donald Trump will go after you. This is a signal that weaponization of the federal government is now the order of the day. Under color of law, they will punish outlets that have done nothing wrong but report the truth. Brendan Carr, one, pushed vociferously for Elon Musk to buy Twitter. He was very opposed to any attempt to block the sale of Twitter to Elon Musk. He wrote the chapter about the FCC in Project 2025. That's who Brendan Carr is. On January 22nd, after having taken office, he brought back investigations into CBS, ABC, and NBC of claims of bias. However, he didn't bring back an investigation against Fox News for the same thing. Shocking, right? On January 30th, Carr launched the investigations we're going to talk about today into NPR and PBS. Here's the CNN article. Trump's FCC is investigating NPR and PBS stations over sponsorships. You see, this gets right to the heart of the Project 2025 that Donald Trump disavowed. I know nothing about it. I don't know what it's about. I know nothing, even though coincidentally now, all of the players of Project 2025 are in key positions, including Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr, the Federal Communications Commission's new chairman, on Wednesday ordered an investigation into the sponsorship practices of NPR and PBS member stations. In a letter obtained by CNN, Carr said he was concerned that NPR and PBS broadcasts could be violating federal law by airing commercials. Never been a problem before. No Republican has had a problem with it before, but now that Project 2025 is on the march, being set into motion, all of a sudden, it's worthy of an investigation. In particular, it is possible that NPR and PBS member stations are broadcasting underwriting announcements that cross the line into prohibited commercial advertisements, Carr wrote in a letter, which was sent to NPR Chief Executive Catherine Marr and PBS President and Chief Executive Paula Kerger. NPR and PBS programming is aired to a network of around 1,500 member stations, all of which choose which programs to broadcast. The stations require licenses approved by the FCC to operate, and these licenses limit them as non-commercial educational broadcast stations, which are prohibited by federal law from airing advertisements. The FCC's investigation will probe the underwriting announcements and policies of NPR and PBS, as well as their broadcast stations. In a statement, Marr emphasized that the radio broadcaster and its member stations have complied with FCC regulations. Quote, "We are confident any review of our programming and underwriting practices will confirm NPR's adherence to these rules," Marr wrote. PBS likewise defended its compliance with FCC standards, saying in a statement it has worked diligently to comply with the FCC's underwriting regulations. Carr also, this is the final paragraph here, Carr also sent the letter to congressional lawmakers, and here's the rub. Here's where the rubber hits the road. He also sent a letter to congressional lawmakers noting the investigation, quote, may prove relevant to an ongoing legislative debate over whether to stop requiring taxpayers to subsidize NPR and PBS programming. This is weaponization through the pulling back of funding. It's been a fever dream for decades of the right wing to stop funding NPR and PBS, two outlets that do absolute rock solid work. But it's the agenda item of Project 2025 to pull back funding from woke or DEI or anything that resembles the truth or that combats right-wing ideologies that are now just the order of the day because of the 1.5% difference in the vote between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
We've seen massive data breaches over the last year at a disturbing rate, exposing people's sensitive data on a massive scale. I feel safe because I use Aura, one of our sponsors. Aura will monitor the dark web to check if your personal info has been compromised, your emails, passwords, social security number. It'll keep an eye on credit accounts and it'll let you know if there's anything suspicious going on. And Aura can also scan your devices for malware, ransomware, viruses, and more. Aura even will provide parental controls to let your kids explore the internet safely with tools to filter harmful sites and limit screen time. Aura is an easy-to-use app that protects your identity, money, passwords, devices, and more, all in one place. Instead of using a dozen multiple services to do the same things, you get everything you need to stay safe online in one place. Go to aura.com/Pacman to try it for 2 weeks, totally free. With the free subscription, it'll take seconds to see if your personal data is already compromised. Protect yourself and your family now. The link is in the description.